Hi guys and dolls, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about ripping up your list. I mentioned this, I think, when I did an interview with Gina back in the summer. We talked about not settling. We talked about praying for our future husbands. We talked about some other things as well. I'll try to link it down below if I remember, but it's on my YouTube channel. I'm going to share with you today. So if you're like me and you're single, sometimes we can have our own kind of list in our mind or what we want in a man, and for fellows that are watching, what you want in a woman. And it's funny because I remember having a conversation with my friend, and she's like, I want him to be chocolate skin, and I want him to be like, she's telling me all of these things, right? And I'm like, but what if he's not like dark chocolate like you want him? Like, what if he's caramel? Like, what if he's white chocolate? So we just started laughing. But just rip up your list. Like, if it's not a Holy Spirit filled list or Holy Spirit led list, rip it up, okay? Take a piece of paper and just rip it up, okay? Because let me tell you why. God knows what we need. He knows what he wants. And it's funny because I hear people say like, oh, well, they're concerned that their ordained spouse is gonna be ugly or whatever. Like, I'm just gonna be real. Like, this is what I hear from people. Or they don't think they're gonna be attractive or whatever. Honestly, I believe that the man that God has for you, you will be attracted to him. I don't think it's all about like physicality and like, flesh, but I do think that you will feel drawn to him in a way. I think you'll recognize your future spouse in spirit and truth. But for those that are saying that like they're worried that God is going to send them an ugly man, stop it. Okay, God knows what you like more than what you think. Okay, so trust me, God got you. I don't know who needs to hear that, but God has you. Okay, same thing with the fellas. Okay, so I'm actually gonna share a little bit. I have my notes here because y'all know I can ramble, but it's funny because sometimes we want, and there's nothing wrong with having preferences. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But also recognize that God is a God that does exceedingly and abundantly beyond what you could ask, imagine, or request. And sometimes what you're asking for, what you want, it might not always be exactly how you pictured, because we serve a God that just does beyond that. He just amazingly does beyond that. And it's funny because I hear women saying like, he's got to be 6 foot tall, he's got to have a six pack, he's got to make six figures. I was like, with all them sixes, you might end up with a double. You better watch out. You better be careful with all them sixes. And like, it's funny because like for me, honestly, like I don't have all that, like, to be honest. Like, even when I started like dating when I was in high school, it's funny because like my relatives were like, you date like all different types of men, like fat, short, tall, like I just Asian, Hispanic, African. I think I've dated just about every like nationality, or every, you know what I mean, every at least something from every continent except Antarctica, but and Australia. But other than that, like I've dated an Asian guy, I've dated an African guy, dated an African American guy, I've dated Hispanic guy, I've dated a Middle Eastern guy. Like, honestly, like I wasn't all like superficial like some people. I don't know, I just wasn't like that. And it's interesting because I look back in my journal. It's like 4 journals ago. This was on May 10th, 2020. I think this was around the time I heard Pastor Michael Todd talking about ripping up your list. And Holy Spirit led me to write a list. And I was like, do we have to? God's like, you don't have to, but I want you to start writing. So I was like, okay. And so follow the Holy Spirit leading. Like, if you honestly, like, if the Holy Spirit does not tell you to make a list, then don't do it. But my number one I put on my list that I want in my future husband is someone that puts God first. Like, that is number one, puts God first. And it's funny because as I look at this, it's just, none of it talks about physique. None of it talks about, oh, they have to be a certain height. Let me tell y'all, for those that don't know, because apparently people think I'm like so much taller. I don't know why y'all think that. I am 4'11 3/4. I didn't even make it to 5 feet, y'all. I didn't even make it. Okay, I've been this tall since 8th grade. 4'11 3/4. All right, and it's funny because I know some women like they won't even like be interested in a guy that's like 5'8 or 5'9, and I'm like, well, to me, I'm short. Like I'm not even 5 foot, so I don't even care about that as long as he gets taller than me. Well, I know people that their partners are shorter, so I mean, I guess hey, whatever. But for me, I wasn't all too concerned about all that, y'all. So on my list, I have no skin complexion, I have no height, I have no amount of dollars he must earn a year. If the guy has good character, like an integrity, that's most important. And what a lot of women miss out on is that women are meant to be multipliers. So when you get with that person, because of the women, he who finds a wife finds favor, finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So when y'all come together, he is going to get favor from you if you are the wife, okay? And you are a multiplier. That's why the men, they bring the seed, and us women, we birth that, we multiply that. So there's going to even be a greater expansion because of us women being multipliers. So think about that as well, women. Okay. And also, I just need to feel like I need to say this because me and Gina talked about this a while ago. Stop having expectations of that person or of that guy and you don't do yourself. Don't expect that guy, oh, I want him in the gym. He better be in the gym 5-6 days out of the week, and you're not even in the gym. You want him to make X amount of money. You don't even make, let's say, a fourth of that or a third of that. Stop, 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 stop. We have to get out of that because that mentality, we have to get out of that. That's a whole nother topic for another time. I'm gonna share some other stuff, guys, guys and dolls that I have on my list, just to give you an idea. But yeah, worshiping God together. Someone who plans and makes time for me. Like this is so important for those that don't know. Like my number one love language is quality time. My number two love language is like words of affirmation. If anyone, even if you're my friend, you know this. You absolutely know this. If you're my friend, everyone who knows this, okay? If you're my friend, if you're not my friend, you probably don't really know this that much. But quality time, like every person that is close to me knows I will talk hours with you on the phone. I think the longest, and if Brittany is watching, I have two friends named Brittany, but if they're watching, I think I've had at least 4-hour conversations with the both of them, and we're not always just sitting there talking for 4 hours. Like sometimes us girls are just like watching TV and talking and like what have you. But like what I want in a husband is someone that is intentional, someone that makes time for me, someone that plans plans dates, someone that is takes initiative. I think no one always wants to be the one that's always initiating. Like that's not ever fun on either party, right? um Someone that pushes me even when I want to give up. Like I've added this to my list. Someone to study the Bible, go to church with me. Someone who likes to cook as well. Like I like to cook, but I'm not like a super like chef or anything like that. So someone who likes to work out. I like to work out. Not like super crazy into it like some people are, but like I hope to work out with my husband. Yeah. Oh, oh, hope that didn't sound. Anyways, um, I want to work out with my husband. Like I want to be able to just have that bond and have also to just better our health in general. So just I think that's a good idea. But yeah, I definitely want to work out with my husband in more ways than one. Um, let's see. Oh, so I think I'm gonna share a video on this later on my purity journey. I've talked about it in I think several videos, but I haven't done like a singular video on just like my purity journey. But someone who is willing to wait, and it's interesting because I hear women say like, what man is gonna wait till marriage and da 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 da, and I'm like, my husband, point blank period. Like my husband is gonna wait for me, and I think that it's so important. The waiting is so beautiful even, and just honoring God with your bodies is something beautiful also about a guy who respects your purity and who doesn't want to make you stumble and fall, and someone that wants to honor God with you in that regard. Because when you think about it, when you get married, you'll have the rest of your lives to have fun, if you know what I mean. So moving forward, so y'all know I have YouTube channel. Someone to also maybe help me like with YouTube or do projects with, like I'm super creative. Hopefully, like one day I would like to have like a vlog, maybe a vlog channel with my husband, with my future husband and I. Like God is already downloading ideas for that. I'm just like writing it down because y'all know I'm a visionary. Like God speaks to me through dreams and visions. So like I literally try to write it down because it can be a lot sometimes. Someone that makes me laugh and someone I can dance with, like someone I can have fun time with and just dance and laugh. Y'all know I love to dance. But yeah, this is just some of the things that I have on my list. This is Holy Spirit led. And someone that's okay with me being myself. I mean, you guys see me on camera, and I'm pretty much the same person off camera, like the same giddy, bubbly, like person. But you know, obviously I don't show you guys everything, but there are times where I do cry, I do get sad. There are times when, you know, I do need a hug or I do need a friend and or someone to talk to. And I think having that vulnerability with somebody, you know, hopefully my future husband, having that with him, like I think that is also an important component of having a healthy marriage, is being able to be vulnerable, because when you're vulnerable, then that's where empathy can come into place as well. I think that's pretty much, I'm not going to share everything. I have like 16 things on here. Again, none of them mention height, none of them mention all of these other things. And there's nothing wrong with having preferences. There's nothing wrong with that, but also be open to God, like doing beyond that. Like don't put God in a box. He has to do this. He has to be this. He has to be this tall. Like let God be God in your life, because he knows you better than you know yourself. And so I start praising and thanking God, even if you don't see that person right now, like you don't know where they are. Maybe you do know where they are. And start praising and thanking God. God, I thank you for my husband. I thank you for my wife. I thank you that one day we'll be able to come together and glorify you for a greater kingdom purpose. You have to start speaking life over yourself. Stop speaking, I ain't never gonna find no man. Stop it. Stop speaking, nope, I can't. She can have that. She can have it. I can't. God is not going to bless me in that kind of way. Stop it. We have to speak life over ourselves. We have to. I know sometimes because of our past hurts, traumas, and disappointments, we can literally just feel like there's no one out there for me, or everyone else is getting that special someone, but you sometimes feel like God has forgotten about you. He has not forgotten about you, okay? Sometimes it's just not time yet. Even when you do find that person, sometimes God just says, wait, because it's not time yet. And you never want anything out of season, out of timing. Yeah, so just make sure that if your list is not Holy Spirit led, rip it up. And if God leads you to write a list, then write it, because it's from the Holy Spirit. All right, so I love you all, and I'm always keeping you guys in my prayers. Thank you so much, and I hope this video has helped you in some way, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys and dolls.